Welcome to Mitsumaru City. Today I'm going to build a Starbucks on this little bit of land. There's not much space to build, but I intend to make an absolutely massive Starbucks here that everyone wants to come and buy a drink at least hopefully. So to start with, I'm putting maple trees on this island that I intend to build into the Starbucks. It's kind of a crazy idea, but I think it's unique. And I would absolutely love to sit in a Starbucks that has maple trees growing inside. It's a really interesting idea, isn't it? I put 3 layers of andesite on the bottom, and then I'm going to build this spruce construction all the way around the maple trees. I'm mostly using the Yuushya mod and all of the assets in it. Here's the list of mods that I'm using. The main focus is really Yuushya mod, Cocricot, and Axiom, which I use to copy and paste things. All the other mods are basically used for furniture, and I use sodium to make sure I get a decent amount of FPS in this absolutely massive city. It's getting to be quite the place now. I've built apartment blocks, an office, a little park, a 7-Eleven, and I've expanded the motorway system to be quite massive. I've also got a number of houses here, and I do intend to have a lot more houses here, but I do get sidetracked on other projects which are just as fun. As I pan the camera around, you can see the rest of the lake and some of the other constructions that I've built. I'm very happy with Mitsumaru City. It's really fun to build, and I am going to put as many things in this city as humanly possible. It's got to be a city. The Starbucks has basically 2 floors in it. The first floor is pretty much done. It's a bit box-like at the minute, but I do intend to change that later. Now what I need to do is access the Starbucks. It's sitting on an island, but nobody can get in. So for that, I'm going to have a little platform that goes up with stairs on 3 sides. So that's like the main entrance to that street over there that's unnamed. And then I'm going to put the stairs up, and it's 4 in width. I'm using spruce logs for that, and it looks great. Put in a couple of doors at the front, 4 doors in total that is, and then expand the platform to the right there, and make sure that there's plenty of stairs for people to climb up and access. At the minute, it's not a safe bridge. It's completely unsafe. I'm going to change that in a little bit to have some kind of banister so people can't plop off the edge and have a watery death. On the left-hand side of the Starbucks, I'm going to have an extended platform that goes all the way around the edge and then link it up with some stairs so people can access. If I have a 4th entrance to the north, they're basically going to be swimming. I don't know exactly how I could do that. I could have a zigzag path, but I don't need it. Just 3, that's enough. Now I'm going to use these connected bridges from the McCaw's mod to act as a banister that goes all the way around. It also looks like a nice little pathing system, doesn't it? You can use the pliers tool to change it so you can have access points. It works, and it does look really good, and it's safe. For the stairs, I'm going to use a bunch of trapdoors that are linked up quite nicely. That acts as a banister. Now people can't fall off and sue me for damages. There's actually no legal firm in the city yet, but I'll get to that one day. One more set of stairs to do with the trapdoors, and then the path system is pretty much complete. Now people can access the place very easily. However, there is no path to get there, so they've got to walk over the grass, get muddy before they get on the path. No, that's not going to happen in my city. So what I need to do is put some kind of path. I do like the spruce logs, so I'm going to remove some of the grass and put in spruce logs instead. That way they can access it. It's spruce planks, I think, actually. It does look really good like that. I'm going to have 3 of them so they can access the streets, just carving away the different bits of grass and then adding in the spruce planks. It's very easy to do, not a problem at all. Nice, it does look better like that. Plenty of planks in. I do need one on this side as well, so I'm also going to do the same thing. Basically chisel out the ground like this, put in the spruce planks, and make sure it's got a few diagonals. It doesn't have to be exactly straight. It's kind of boring when things are straight, isn't it? I do wish I could have more angular things, but it's difficult to do with Minecraft. There's only 4 axes really in this. If you have a 5th or 6th axis, it gets a bit difficult with that, so I'm not going to do that. Here, you can see that I put in this little path, and now I'm just going to make sure it goes all the way around the lake, and then I can access the rest of the path. Very easy to do, really. Just got to chop away the ground. With the Axiom mod, I think you can chop up blocks much quicker. In the default Minecraft game, it takes a while to delete the blocks, especially in survival mode, but this is obviously creative, isn't it? The last bit of the path is going in. Paste it all in with Axiom mod so I don't have to sit there and do the planks forever and ever. That looks good. That's a nice access point. I've also got a few places there to have a few shops as well. This is like a high-end shopping area, I guess. I'm definitely going to have a flower shop here somewhere. Now I'm going to put in the windows. I kind of like the idea of having these floor windows. First I tried the Yuushya windows, but it's a bit too white and blue. I don't like it. Then I tried these ones from Cocricot, and they fit quite nicely. I kind of wish they'd link up, but it does look good like that anyway, so I'm going to use those. Now I need to have another platform for the second floor. I go round with the slabs first. There is a problem with the slabs. If you use the slabs, you can't actually put blocks on top because they hover in the air. I'm sure people have experienced that on survival mode. It's a rather annoying quirk with slabs, isn't it? But there we go. I use the slabs everywhere, and I'm trying to be careful not to destroy those maple trees. I do want to have those as like an interest point in the Starbucks. It's a very good idea. See here, look, I'm changing the slabs to be the bricks instead and put the planks all the way up. I want it to have a height of 4 because that's plenty spacious in the Starbucks, isn't it? Once that's finished, I've got a nice blocky construction and it comes off the main one. It's a little bit bigger. I'm going to have another maple tree in here. So I put in a tree stand and then stick the maple tree in, but for some reason it went on the left. So I placed it one block behind. I don't know why the maple trees do that, and now it's fine. Now I need to add a few supports so that the building doesn't fall on itself. For those, I'm using the spruce blind wall. It does look really nice and it matches with the spruce planks too. Now I need to poke in a few windows on the second floor. I'm also going to have space for the Starbucks logo. That's the bit in the middle. I'm just trying to work out where the windows go here and have the space in the middle for the Starbucks logo on that side. It's going to have Starbucks logos all over the place because that's what they do, isn't it? They have advertising everywhere. And that's what I intend to do here as well. That's looking really good. It's a unique construction. It's less box-like, but it's still box-like. I like it. It's pretty good. At the front of the Starbucks, I guess, I'm going to have a little balcony space for VIPs, I guess. Can you have VIPs in Starbucks? Probably not. But anyway, it's like a family area where people can sit. It does look really good, so now I need to start tackling the roof. First, I'm going to have a look at putting in the sign. I've already used the map item tool website that I found before. It is in the description if you need help with those. You basically have to design the maps to be 128 by 128. A big one like this, I think, is 384 by 384 pixels. So I found the Starbucks logo online, saved it as a JPEG, and then I uploaded it to the website and it gave me 9 maps back. Easy. I also did the sign for Starbucks Mitsumaru. It looks good like that. It's not too much, it's classy. Outside the Starbucks, I'm going to add a bunch more maple trees near the path. I want it to look a bit more lively, a little miniature park outside. I'm also going to have shops there, so I've got to be careful with those maple trees because they will come down eventually. Which will definitely anger the environmental advisor from SimCity, but this isn't it, is it? This is my city. Anyway, she's happy now because I do have a park. For the roof, I'm using the Macaws mod. I think their roofs look really good. Some of the Yuushya mod roofs look good too, but I do want to have a few different ones. And it's probably a good idea to not have the whole thing made of spruce. It's kind of annoying. I like the bookstore down there, that looks good because that's all made of spruce, but I want to have a different looking roof here. And the idea here is to have something classy and white. There's nothing really perfectly white, there's no quartz roof, so I've gone for these white ones and they do look rather nice. What I'm doing is leveling it up so it's nice and triangular on both sides, but I want it to be a little bit different on the other side of the building. That way I can have a nice nested roof and something interesting as well. I did actually miss putting the drainage here, but then I thought, wait a minute, if it rains, surely the water will just go into the lake, so there's no issue, is there? So I don't have to bother with that. I've got to carry on with building the roof instead. Once most of the roof is done, I've got to tackle the area around the maple tree because, well, that's in the way, isn't it? But I do want to leave it as a feature of the shop. So how am I going to deal with that, I'm thinking the whole time while I'm building the roof. What I decide to do is have some kind of glass skylight. So here you can see me putting it in. I do have to destroy a lot of the maple tree while I'm doing it, get rid of those leaves, but I can also put them back. It doesn't look like it's devoid of life. Nicely blocked off, it's not going to rain inside, and it does look really good with those little maple trees poking through the ceiling. I think it's interesting. Inside the second floor, I'm going to change these white blocks to be spruce planks again, because that way it's nice and fresh and coffee-like. You know, you want a coffee shop, not some cold place with concrete sticking out. I don't want to see the concrete really, except for the tree, that looks good. Now that I've finished with that, I'm going to start decorating the area of the first floor. There's this little bit that's the andesite sitting on. I thought maybe I could have a toilet down there, but then I thought, no, you want to hide that one, don't you really? So I'm going to have this little area of staircases, and you can have coffees down there. I'm going to put the tables in a bit. I put in the window here, but things plopped off into the sea, so I don't like that. I have to put the sign back. Leave the windows like that, don't mess with it too much. Now I need to start thinking about the staircase to access the second floor. I liked putting the stairs there, but it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do instead is have a spiral staircase going up like this. It's nice and safe, and it looks really good. I like making spiral staircases. I put one in my office building if you've seen that episode. Looks really good like that, nice and simple, safe enough to get up, and not too intrusive on the whole design of the coffee shop. I add these trapdoors to act as a safety banister, that way people won't fall off the edge, and I'm also going to have a little fish tank going up. That's a very interesting design feature. Starbucks, if you're watching, you have to have these kinds of things. People want it. It looks really good. I'm happy with that, so now what I'm going to start doing is putting in the lights. I like these rattan lights that you can find on the Cockrycop mod. The brown bamboo design looks absolutely amazing, offset with a few others looks good. I'm going to have a few paintings up here too. The painting on the back wall there I'm going to remove eventually and have a toilet instead, because it's important to have those things. Now what I want to do is add another sign and then put in the rest of the lights on the first floor. I'll make sure not to destroy the maple trees in the process of doing this, because they're very important to the shop. That's the selling feature, that's why people want to come here. Is it illegal to have trees in shops like this? I really don't know. Now I need to start working on the cash register area and the coffee zone. So I'll put in a computer, that's the till, a power jack, a laptop as well, because there's going to be lots of sales in here. I tell you, I would go here every day if there was a place like this. I'll put little bags of coffee down there, make sure it's nicely vibrant. I actually forgot to add a sink, but never mind. I'll put in a few hanging plants, a little chair for the staff worker to rest in, and then a few posters and paintings on the wall. Above the door, I'm going to have little bags of coffee. I've seen things like this in Starbucks. People go in and see these things, don't they? That this is where they made the coffee or whatever. So now that the cash register area is finished, I need to start decorating the whole place with tables and chairs. Because the building is made of spruce, I decided to use spruce tables, and it does look good with those orange chairs, and I put in a few power jacks here in this sunken area. I also need another access point, so I add some more stairs, make sure it's all linked up nice and neat. I've got to make sure that it's cool like that. I actually like the exposed andesite there, it did look rather good, but I changed it for the spruce, so never mind. Put in a few more chairs offset, put in the coffee on the tables, and that does look good. Have a little table there, but then I've realized that actually the tables are invisible because they're also made of spruce. So instead, I get this orange table and replace them. That looks good. It's like a nice orange maple Starbucks. I would absolutely love to go here. A table in the corner, plenty of chairs, and a few sofas as well. The sofas are an extra resting point. A couple of Japanese tables, which look really good. And I'm also going to add some coffee with steam. The steam is available on the Cockrycop mod, and it looks like the coffee has just been poured. That's pretty much the first floor decorated for now. There's a few more extra details that I want to add later, but for now, I'm happy with that. On the outside of the coffee shop, I put in a few lists, but I also want to have some plants and a few tables as well, because there is space here for plenty of tables. I add some sofas and stick those in the ground a little bit. These are like relaxing sofas, I guess. I make sure to have a few plants on the outside, make sure that it's nicely decorated for people to come here and drink coffee wherever they want. I like the look of this place now. I put in a few extra posters on the walls, a little painting, and also I want to have a few hanging plants as well. That makes sure the place is nicely decorated and ready for visitors. Around the side of the entire building, I want to have some ivy dangling down to make it look like it's just a little bit wild. This ivy is available from the Cockrycop mod. I do use some Yuushya mod assets sometimes, but for this build, I want to use these vines. They're called ivy, and they do look really good. You can stack them as well. If you put ivy just underneath, you can have a bit more growing. I have some on the top of the roof, and some just a bit below it on the walls as well. That way the whole place comes to life. Otherwise, it's a bit of a dead building, really. But now it looks amazing with all these little bits. I think it looks very interesting with the ivy on it. Let me know in the comments what you think about adding ivy to buildings. Without that, I think places don't look as interesting. This way it looks really, really good. A few more bits of ivy are going up on the balcony area, and that's pretty much all of the ivy completed. There's always space for more, and I'm always looking around for places to put more ivy, to be honest. A few bits on the roof as well, because nobody can access that point. But that's cool, it does look good. I'm also going to have a couple of tables and a few more chairs nestled nicely next to the tables. These are the expensive tables, aren't they? Actually, the chairs do go into the ground a little bit too much, so I'll make sure to change that. I have a nice awning around the building. Now it's looking really good on the front. It looks like a proper Starbucks. I've seen places like this, I'm sure. I add a few more details like carpets. I want to have another coffee over there with a croissant and a little display case with a few cakes in it. So here I put the display case, I basically bring the cakes in and just move them around with the GUI tool. That looks absolutely brilliant as an entrance to my coffee shop. Around the side here, I need to have an AC unit because it's going to get hot in the shop, certainly on summer days. I'll make sure to put the AC unit somewhere in the shop. I'm trying to find where it is. There it is, look! Nicely detailed in the corner. Looks really good like that, and I'm sorry about the camera work there. I'm just trying to go around the shop and show you the details. The second floor's got to go in now. So first I start with a VIP balcony space. I put in a little cat, a fan, a few extra details like hanging plants. I also put the air conditioning unit on the front there. That's the only place I could fit it. And it does look good. This little space is going to be for a bathroom, because I always seem to forget those, and it's a very important part of a building. So for this one, I'm basically going to have a simple toilet. This is a unisex bathroom, so whoever comes here, yeah, whatever. They're not going to differentiate that one. I have a little beverage drawer there, put in a few more sofas around this side, make sure it's nicely detailed with lots of snacks and drinks. Cool, I'm really liking this. I also add some heaters as well. Make sure the place is nicely warm and also cooled in the summertime. Here I'm going to have a bunch more tables and chairs near the tree. I think that looks really good. It's nice and warm and inviting, and I'm very excited to have those extra trees in the shop. It looks fascinating, doesn't it? Near the staircase I add another vending machine type thing and another display case as well for a few cakes if you want to buy them. Now I'm going to show you how I put in a table and chairs using the GUI tool. First I put in the table and rotate it a bit. I put the chairs in here like this. See how they're hovering in the air? I make sure to bring them down. I think it's -8. I rotate them a bit and then I shift them across with the Z-axis and the X-axis. And then it's nicely neat, isn't it? I have to do the same thing with all of the other chairs as well. So I've got to shift it first and then rotate. That's probably a better way of doing it because these are angled on the wrong axis, aren't they? So what I need to do is bring it down to -8, shift it across a little bit, like that, I guess, move it a bit across more on the Z-axis and then rotate it. That's a bit offset, that looks good. Bring that one down as well, shift it across, making sure to be careful with that, and then rotate it. That's pretty much done. Nice, I've got all the chairs placed, so now it needs something on there, so I'm going to find a coffee, take this small one, that's a pretty good one, put it up there, it's hovering again, so I have to bring it down. Once it's been brought down, it does clip into the table, so you've got to make sure it's the correct angle. Cool. I'm also going to look for another drink, so what could I use? I've got a lot of choices here in my builds, so let's see. I'm going to go for Yuushya catering here and choose this macchiato drink and a strawberry drink. So I choose those two, they look good. Put that one here. It's gone into the table, so I have to turn it into an entity and then just bring it up. Leave it on the side there, that looks great, doesn't it? A strawberry drink here, but it's massive, so what I need to do is go in with the GUI tool, scale it down a bit, and then just bring it so it's sitting on the table. Great. Excellent work. That wall looks a bit empty, doesn't it? So I'm going to put a painting. I just find this one, the standard painting, put it on the wall, let's see. Okay, that's too big. The cat one looks good, but it's a bit silly, so I chop away a block, then I can put the painting in, and it's not too big. Right, so let's go back to the rest of the build. Here I'm going to put in a bunch more sofas, a couple more tables as well, decorated with all drinks and things. Over in the corner I've got space for a few more tables and chairs, and I also want to have a couple of plants as well to liven up the place. It does look like a very good coffee shop now, and I'm very happy to have shown you this today. It's one of my favourite builds in Mitsumaru City now, I think. Over in the corner, I'm also going to add a few more tables and chairs, and that's pretty much the second floor. I'll have a really big macchiato, which is like a sign. It's an advertisement, I guess. It does look good like that. A few more extra details on the second floor, like a few plants, just shifting things around a bit. Doesn't that look grand? So let's go down to the first floor and add a few more details down here, like waste paper baskets. We do need a trash bin, otherwise there's no space for people to throw the trash away. There's also another one of those large macchiato drinks, which you can't actually drink. It's like just a big fun thing to have in the shop. Around the side it looks very good. I'm happy with the whole design. It's pretty much finished now, to be honest. There's a few more details I want to do with the side streets. So now I'm just going to pan around and have a quick look at it all. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. You know, I'm building the city as best I can. If you want to leave me a comment as well, that would be great. Tell me what I should build next. Tell me what's wrong with this build or something. Anything. Down on the street level, I'm going to add some benches and some waste paper baskets. Because you know what? People are going to buy the drinks in the coffee shop, maybe not sit there. They want to walk with them a little bit, and then they'll throw the trash. But if they don't have a place to put the trash, I'm in trouble. I'm going to have a few benches on the walkway as well with a few plants. And now I'm going to lighten it up a bit with these medieval street lights. I put in those in various places where it's dark, because remember, I want to keep it nice and safe in the city. And that does look good, doesn't it? There's also one going over there. That's going to be for a flower shop in the future. Turn the lights back to daylight, and now I'm floating because the video's paused. But never mind, I'm very happy with this Starbucks. So let's go and take a tour of the place. First, I'm going to go up this little staircase past the benches. You can see the Starbucks entrance. It does look absolutely brilliant. Around the side here, you can see all the things I've built today. I've got my little coffee tables all prepped with food and things for the visitors. That's the cash register area. I'm just going to put that down. I'm not allowed to go in there. I'm just a customer. This is the sunken area near the andesite blocks with all the lights. It does look absolutely brilliant. Oh, look, there's that massive macchiato thing. Let's jump over the plants. That's not good at all, is it really? Climb up the stairs here past the aquarium. You can see the second floor with all the detail. I'm going to have to jump on that table. I'm really sorry, the guests who are sitting there. The exposed trees do look really good. There's a little bathroom. Not too much detail in there, but that's fine. Whoops, I could change that one to a different thing. I don't want to do that. Over here, look, you can see out into the city with the motorway. That looks really good. Nice VIP place with a power plant in the distance. This city is starting to grow to be something unique and wonderful, and I'm very happy you're all here to join me today. It's an excellent build, and I'm happy with my little Starbucks in Mitsumaru City. Thanks for joining me. It's been a very fun thing to build. It's not too difficult, actually. Sometimes it can be, but not today. I'm very happy with how everything's going. I'm Ixical, and I'll see you next time.